Ooh. Okay. Get back Halia, gain some life, gain all the life. And we draw a card. Nice. Sending it. They've got to make some chumps here. Okay, so they have some sort of removal spell. Get lost. Okay. We just gain a bunch of life. And let's dump it onto Rune Lurker Bat. This is pretty sweet. Oh, they just played it tapped. Interesting. If that were an untapped land, I could play the Ooze, and then in response, I could... If... So since they don't know I have the Ooze, they are probably gonna... Yep. So I get the maps, play the Ooze, and then I get to just do this. And then whatever they target with Shiko, I get to exile with the Ooze. Alright, what's up everyone? Just finished recording the deck tech for this video and realized that it ended up being really long. I had a lot to say about this deck, so if you are not super interested in listening to me ramble, I have a link in the description to the timestamp of just jump into the matches if you want to. So check that out. Thanks, and on to the deck tech. Welcome everyone, Sean here. Revisiting Orzhov Pursuit / the Ooze. The Ooze was really like the card that I wanted to brew with the most. So the first two videos I made this season were brews around the Ooze. Brews, if you will. That green-black deck felt sweet. I get a rep in every now and then with that deck, and it's still super fun to play. I think the only change I've made since that video is I've added the Leatherhead, and I updated the Mana Base because tangent. Anyway. But this deck, the Pursuit deck that I recorded with, or the Orzhov Pursuit deck that I recorded with at the beginning of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle season, it felt like it had a lot of potential, but it was just too fragile. It was like a super glass cannony. I'll put a link to that video in the description, but we were playing like Warden of the Inner Skies, and the Warp Drainer guy alongside Halia, and the deck just felt really fragile. Like if we had the Ooze or Obsessive Pursuit, the deck felt great, and if we didn't, then the deck just kind of fell apart. So towards the end of that video, I was like, oh, well, I'm losing. All the games I'm losing are to my opponents answering these key cards or to me not drawing them. So I put a Zorline in my sideboard. And I was like, okay, I just want to be able to get them back. And so I liked that plan. Here, let me pull up the intermediate version of this deck. Immediately after recording that video, I started brewing in a space that looked a little more like this. I was like, I just want more powerful cards in the deck so that if they answer Pursuit and Ooze, then I can still have a game plan. So I was like, I want Bitter Bloom Bearer, in order to just have more ways on 2 mana to like poop out tokens. I want Sephiroth because Sephiroth is super powerful. And then if I'm playing Sephiroth, then I want to play Emptiness. Emptiness, unfortunately, this either needs to cost 5 mana or have a bigger body, because it's just not a good, like, if you're evoking it, you're like, okay, this is an okay magic card, especially since you can play either side. But playing it for 6 mana just feels so bad. You're like, okay, I get to kill your guy, get back my guy, and I have a 3/5. That's not super great for 6 mana. Especially since by the time you're at 6 mana, like giving something -3/-3 has minimal impact. Anyway, tangent. This deck felt like it was better than my last Orzhov brew. I still felt like the pieces didn't quite fit together nicely. Like Sephiroth isn't super great if on turn 3, if you go turn 4 or turn 2 Pursuit or Ooze. And like I found myself very rarely sacrificing anything to Sephiroth. He was more there to just kind of like get triggers and have a target on his head to like absorb removal. And then of course he was sweet to get back with Emptiness, because you can do the trick where you get him back and then Emptiness is still in play. So then his trigger goes on the stack before the sacrifice trigger from Emptiness happens, and you can sacrifice Emptiness to Sephiroth. That's cool when it happens. But Sephiroth, like, is powerful, but it just didn't feel like a good fit in the deck, if that makes sense. Like, most of the stuff that we're sacrificing are artifacts. So, and Caesarean Voidborn is like sweet when you're popping off with sacrificing your artifacts, but super underpowered if you don't have a sack outlet or one of these things in play. I've tried like Zac Fair to have ways to like get counters onto things. And then when I was like, oh, maybe I want more cheap guys, that was when I thought about Runelurker Bat, because I was like, I just want more 1-drops in the deck, because the deck is so choked on like 2 mana plays. Like all of the deck's important cards cost 2 or more. And this standard format is very much defined by 1 casting cost spells. So I was like, I just need like another 1-drop. Novice Inspector is like good, greases the wheels, does a little bit of everything that the deck wants. Super happy with Novice Inspector. But I just wanted something more. Zac Fair felt like it wasn't quite it. And then I was like, maybe I just want Healer's Hawk. Like, Runelurker Bat is just Healer's Hawk. Side note, when we were playing Standard Pauper with the youth in Hawaii, Healer's Hawk like defined the Standard Pauper metagame for a while. Anyway, tangent. So I was like, okay, let's get Runelurker Bat in here. And then once I had Runelurker Bat, I was like, maybe I want Deep Cavern Bat too, because that also has lifelink. And so just stacking tokens, +1/+1 counters through Pursuit or Ooze onto either of those seems like you can race it. But if I'm doing that, then I don't really want to be like a Sephiroth sacrifice deck. So I like... Once I started going down that rabbit hole, I was like, okay, well, Essence Channeler also has synergy with +1/+1 counters, and I'm putting all this life gain into the deck now. Deck already had life gain with Halia. I wanted to put Zorline in the deck, so like playing all these bats. And so, like, once I added the bat package, I was like, okay, we have like a solid plan B to the deck besides Obsessive Pursuit and the Ooze, but Obsessive Pursuit and the Ooze like fit really well into the bat package, because we can just stack counters on Essence Channeler. All of the artifacts coming into play trigger Halia to just like gain a bunch of life. And then if you've never sacrificed an Essence Channeler with the Ooze in play, you have not lived. I think we did do it. I'm probably going to clip that for the intro, so you probably saw me do it before getting to this deck tech. But yeah, once I was like going down the bat package, I was like, I think that just is gonna be super synergetic with what the deck is trying to do with the Ooze and Obsessive Pursuit. So we got that in there. I recorded the videos with a third Halia and only one Zoraline in the deck. Zoraline, not super great against the decks that are not trying to interact with you, mostly landfall. And then kind of Prowess. Like, Prowess is not going to try to interact with the Ooze or Obsessive Pursuit, but they will like try and interact with your creatures, so it can get back to your creatures. But there was one game where I like drew multiple Halias, but she can pop off. So I'm gonna change this in the board. I don't want 4 in the deck, so I don't even know what to add in the board. Maybe we just want a Halia in the board. Bring it in against the non-interactive decks. So yeah, I like the direction that this has taken. Novice Inspector doesn't really synergize with the Bat package, but it is still super necessary to be able to like still have our nut draw of Novice Inspector on 1, Obsessive Pursuit on 2, and then sack the 3 clues on turn 3 to Rottenmouth Viper, and then give Novice Inspector +3 3+1/+1 counters and lifelink. Being able to main deck the Ooze right now, I think, is really good. We played against the Shiko Go Ninja Go deck, and being able to just have the Ooze in play and like shut down their Shiko was super sweet. We got to eat Winter Night Stories when I was like messing around with various versions of this deck. I played against Lessons and just like kept them off of big combustion techniques and kept them off of big accumulated knowledges. Got to like exile a bunch of Earthbent lands with the Ooze. So I think like being able to main deck a card like this, that is also just like playing into our game plan really well, is a reasonable place to be in the metagame. Yeah. So playing 4 snakes to just lean into Obsessive Pursuit and the Ooze, and to go with Novice Inspector. Snake also kind of like lets us have a way to just try and end the game super quickly. The format has a bunch of super fast decks with Prowess and Landfall being 1 and 2, and both of those decks are just kind of like trying to kill you as fast as possible. So you know, they're not super interested with interacting with you all that much. So just sticking a Rottenmouth Viper. Prowess can still bounce it, but you know, sometimes they don't have it, and you just need to move in. But then it also just gives us turns where we get big Obsessive Pursuit turns and stuff like that. 2 Bartolome still in the deck. He's still really good with the Ooze. Being able to just put a move in on him, put a bunch of counters, and then just knowing that you're going to get the mutagens back if he dies with the Ooze in play, and then just having an instant speed sack outlet to like move around channeler tokens when you know you can do it like mid combat. Yeah. Notably, Essence Channeler only puts the counters on the creature when it dies. So not when it gets bounced, not when it gets exiled. But the Ooze says you get the mutagen tokens anytime it leaves the battlefield. So important distinction to keep in mind. Sideboard, excuse me. Requisition Raid. Lessons is still in the format, which has artifact and enchantment targets. And then the giving our stuff +1/+1 counters is reasonable. It might be worse than some other options, since Lessons is making a comeback in the metagame, but it's not like super dominant like it was at the end of last season. So could see trimming Requisition Raids to try and get a different type of disenchant in the deck. 1 Restoration Magic It's a 1 mana, save your thing from a spot removal, or 5 mana and save your team from a board wipe. So I like having it. It's sneaky. I could see playing a Miser's Copy in the main deck. I don't know what I would cut. Deathmark. This could easily be more copies of Shoot the Sheriff, or if you wanted to get real spicy, Bitter Triumph. But I think like we're structurally not super great against the green decks. Like if we can get a big lifelinking flyer against the green decks, we can race them as long as they don't Might Form Harmonizer us. But like they can go over the top of that with Might Form Harmonizer and Ouroborid. So I think just having like cheap tempo plays to like try and keep them off of that while we're trying to do our game plan is worth the super narrow sideboard card, because this will come in against both landfall and the rhythm decks. So trying it out. 3 duress, 2 intimidation tactics, 2 shoot the sheriff. So just like pick your choice of cheap interaction to bring in. And then Zoraline is good against decks that are going to try and kill our Obsessive Pursuit and the Ooze. And Halia is good at just keeping us alive when going Turbo Essence Channeler against the decks that are not trying to interact with us. So that's the gist of the deck. It's super fun to play. Only got 3 matches in this video. 2.5 because my first opponent just kind of disconnected after game 1. But the deck is really fun. I think this is much more resilient than the last build of Orzhov Pursuit that I made. And yeah, I'm really happy that this deck is one that I just kept coming back to. Like every like half a week, I would like open this deck up and look at it and just have no idea like what is this deck. This deck is so close to clicking together really well, but what does it need? And I would just like come back to it over and over again. And then finally today I was like, let's try the Bat package, and it kind of just glued everything together really nicely. Yeah, so that's it for today's video. Oh, I guess I should talk about the mana base. So we're playing the last version. I was playing Warden on 1 and then Bitter Bloom Bearer on turn 2, and that really hurt the mana base. So because you need 21 black and then 14 untapped white for Warden, but this deck has 14 untapped white for Novice Inspector and Rune Lurker Bat. 3, 7, 11, 15. So we have 15, one more than we need to. We have 19 untapped black for turn 1 Tragic Trajectory if we need it. I don't like using Tragic Trajectory super early, even against like the Cub decks though, because we have so little interaction. You want to have it be a good tempo play later in the game when they play something big. So just a rule of thumb there, especially in game 1 where we have so little interaction. What was I saying? Mana base. Yeah, and so I was tempted to cut the starting towns because the mana requirements were less, but then I realized that starting town gives us a way to ping ourselves to turn on the flying and vigilance on Essence Channeler, so I decided to keep starting town. Honestly, it should probably be more like this, just because black on turn 1 is way less important. So maybe like that. Yeah. And then that way we have 5, 9, 13, 17 untapped white. Yeah, I like that. And then we still have 4, 8, 12, 16, 17 untapped black. Yeah. And then we also get to play a Fountain Port in the deck, which we couldn't before when the mana was worse. So Fountain Port, another sack outlet. I mean, lets us like poop out tokens slowly. Against control, it's relevant to like make a creature at the end of their turn. so that we can have something to throw Obsessive Pursuit triggers or mutagen tokens onto. It's possible this should just be the Agnaquel. I think that's what it's called. No, is that the... What is the black land? What am I doing? Realm of Ko. Agnaquel is the blue one. Because these tokens are essentially unblockable. But we don't have a ton of basics in the deck, so it's not going to always come into play untapped. So, trying out a Fountain Port, sacrificing mutagen tokens to draw cards might be more relevant than paying 1 more mana for an semi-unblockable, mostly unblockable token. But yeah, that's the deck. As I said, super fun to play. Sorry if I'm rambling. Go enjoy the matches. Like, comment, subscribe. Help grow the channel. Please the algorithm. Encourage me to keep making content. And yeah, let me know what you think of the deck. And I'll catch you next time. Peace and chicken grease. Laters. Wildfire 16. They are 92%. And we're starting at 1524. Let's see where we end up. Season ends in the middle of the week this month, so I will not be able to play the night before the season ends, so we gotta do our climb this weekend. So, one of the awkward parts of this deck is, like, it has a bunch of different packages that parts of the packages, like, have synergy across to the other, but some of them don't. So, like, Novice Inspector is not the one drop that synergizes with Essence Channeler. But we're gonna try this. Like, Zoraline does combo with the Essence Channelers. Oh, interesting. Ooh, okay, Halia is a very nice draw. Have not seen Reckless Lackey. Do they have a pump spell here? I'm fine trading my Novice Inspector for a pump spell. Ooh, okay, they're going wide. There's our one drop that goes with Essence Channeler. But next turn, we should be able to play a Halia and then Essence Channeler and make our dudes big. And Essence Channeler will then fly. Okay, so they're going to get to raid here. Boros Gobblins. I have not seen. I've seen people try Rakdos Goblins. Are they going to kill my Essence Channeler? That's too bad. Might just want... Because I'm not going to draw a card off of Halia. So I might just want to play Halia. Like, if they have another Torch the Tower, that's going to be very not good. But I don't want to play Zoraline here. And playing Channeler and Runelurker Bat is similarly not super great. Gain some life. Ooh, Howl Squad heavy. Okay. Let's see, we can play Essence Channeler and Runelurker Bat. Unfortunately, that does not draw us a card. But we gotta start growing the Channeler. So they're killing Halia, which is fine, because now we can get it back with Zoraline. So we're going to have a very good Zoraline turn. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Get back Halia, gain some life. Gain all the life. And we draw a card. Nice. Card, nice. And we have the starting talent to Eternal Essence Chandler. I like this a lot. Can start loading up the Ooze tokens on our bat too, gaining more life. Sometimes you just want to gain life. If anybody has watched the majority of my content, you'll know that like every now and then on a running mythic, I'll run into the Mono White Life Gain deck, and it tends to happen when I'm having like a really bad run, and then I'll like win my last video, like my only win in 5 matches was against the Mono White Life Gain deck. So and it did make me think about building this deck this way. So I can't trash talk them, but it is one of those strategies that one of those strategies that people don't usually think about as being competitive in mythic. Yeah, did they just disconnect? They're upset that their Mono Red Goblin deck got paired into the Life Gain deck. Yeah, it looks like they disconnected. Just gaining all of the life. Alright, that's satisfying. So they're just creatures and some removal. Bartholomew might be the cut. Just make me wait for them sideboarding and then wait for them to disconnect. It's not going to be very good content. Yeah, looks like they disconnected. So I get to sit here for another 2 minutes, minute and a half. Yeah, okay, they disconnected. Up to 1307 though. I'll take it. Max 603, 97%. Max G 603. Okay. Got the Pursuit and the Bartolome combo. Essence Chandler. I like it. I like it. Momo. Ooh. So Momo is actually the Clarion Conqueror actually is a huge pain because it shuts off all of our clues. And okay, this is the Jeskai version. If they're playing Springleaf Drum, they're probably not main decking Conqueror. They might not even bring it in against me. Starfield Shepherd. Okay. What are they getting? What 1-drops do they play? I've seen a deck like this with this core trying to play Grand. So since they left their blue open, maybe they're trying to play Grand. No. Okay, they just mistapped their mana, I guess. I mean, unless they're holding up Spell Snare, that'd be something. Okay. They are not, in fact, holding up Spell Snare. Ooh, just hard casting Riddler on 3? That's sweet. Shepherd. Probably get another pixie here. Ooh. That's gonna hurt. So I need to like move in on this now. Or draw a removal spell. Removal spell would be nice. Alia. I should be able to draw a card here. So this way. So this is going to be a 5/5, but I need it to have 6 power to punch through Riddler. Draw a card. You got it. Do this before combat because then I get one more trigger on the Channeler. Oh, I was not expecting them to not block. I could have sacked the Channeler to kill them. I think that if they're not blocking there, though, they're kind of... They either have a Wrath... No, if they had a Wrath, they would chump block for sure. Okay, so they're airbending Deep Cavern Bats. That's fine. And then they get to airbend Bartolome. Okay, yeah. Definitely should have gone for the kill, because, I mean, they weren't tapped out. I mean, maybe they had Aang and they were trying to bait me into sacrificing the Channeler. It's possible. Okay, and then that puts them to 1 card, so they're going to get to draw 2. Well, let's start with doing this. All their guys fly, so I guess if I take a damage, then I give this vigilance as well. Could try and... No. Okay. Schling. Okay, they get to draw 2 cards because of Riddler. So that's pretty good. Yeah, they have to say go. The Ooze. That's very nice. So let's... All right. Sending it. They've got to make some chumps here. Okay, so they have some sort of removal spell. Get lost. Okay. We just gain a bunch of life. And let's dump it onto Rune Lurker Bat. This is pretty sweet. I mean, I guess I'll take a Deep Cavern Bat. I don't know. I can do better than that. Yeah, I mean, even a land lets me start popping these clues and map tokens and such. Voice of Victory resolves. Okay. Don't I just put a bunch of mutagen tokens everywhere so they can gain 2 essentially. So I just need all my dudes to have 3 power. Yeah, they just die if they block like this. They gain 4. You go to 5 and then they take 5. Okay. That was sweet. Hmm. They have Get Lost and Curious Farm Animals. And Tactics is going to be good here. It's a cut. It's the problem with like super high synergy decks like this. I imagine they're going to bring in removal. Maybe I just want to like stick with my game plan. Like I think what I'm doing is more powerful than what they're doing. So maybe I just want to bring in Zoraline to like keep them from killing my key pieces. And then just we'll trim like a snake and an inspector. Sure. Raise the curve a little bit. If I had a second land, I would probably keep this for sure. With only one land though, I'm gonna go turn one bat. They're probably gonna play Momo, and we could Tragic Trajectory. I guess we could Tragic Trajectory Momo if we're on the since we're on the draw. And then if we draw a land, we can lead with Deep Cavern Bats. But if we don't draw a land, then we're just playing Rune Lurker Bat. I don't love this. I'm gonna mulligan it. Another one lander. Okay. I mean, it's the same hand essentially. I guess I'm gonna keep it. Like, could go to 5, but Springleaf Drum. Okay. They did not discard a card. That seems like bad news for me. Start growing our Essence Channeler. We can Tragic Trajectory something with Hylia. So they have 5 mana. They're going to play Riddler again. So we can Warp Hylia and then Tragic Trajectory the Riddler. But unfortunately, that does not draw us a card. And we won't get to Descend. But I guess we're going to grow the Essence Channeler and maybe I should have just taken the bat. Or like done the bat to try to take key cards out of their hand. Do they have the follow-up? I've got a big Rune Lurker bat now. That's pretty good. Starfield Shepherd. Oh, they got to use the Ashling mono to play it. That's pretty sweet. Get a Pixie, pick the Shepherd back up, play it again. That is very nice. So if I just pull the Shepherd out of their hand, they don't have a whole lot going on. As much as I want to get this Pursuit in play, I think I need to just cut them off of having action. They're kind of like priced into flipping Ashling then to try to dig if I do this. Yeah. Probably pitching the voice. Yep. They shrink in my bat. We're getting their Shepherd back. Okay, bat has been shrunk. Saying go. Okay, well, we're just getting this into play. Not a whole lot of synergy with it yet, but I mean, like, just letting it build up means that, like, drawing a Viper is gonna be good. They can't use the mana to flip Aang, but if they tap out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, they need 8. They can just tap this. They don't need to tap a creature to because it's water bending. So they could just flip Aang and say go. It's not a land. Take the last card out of their hand. I think I just want to dig, and then that at least lets me peck in with Deep Cavern Bats. Yeah. Let's just draw a card with Hylia. Try and find more lands. Okay. We're drawing our way out of this. We were getting by on 2 mana for quite some time. Pitching all the Voice of Victories. So if they play a land, they can flip Aang. Ooh, that is a very good draw. Ooh, that was good. Guess I shouldn't have played the plains. I'd rather have gotten that starting town into play. Is now the turn that they flip Aang? If I draw Bartolome and they tap out here without a chump blocker, I can kill them. What is this? What does that even do? Blight X deals X damage to each creature and opponent. Okay. Now Farm Animals gets to kill my Obsessive Pursuit. Okay. that I had an untapped land here. I think I'm just doing this then. It is nice just having so much life to play with here. They're getting so much value out of this Ashling. What's their best creature here? Pixie? Momo. Interesting. Do they have a Riddler in their hand? Why did they get Momo? Okay. So let's see. Play Zoraline, gain a life from Julia. Pay 2, get back Essence Chandler. Gain a life from Julia. That doesn't draw me a card this turn. So I think I want to do this. Okay, nothing. That's good to know. Draw a card. They're keeping it on that side? Why? They want to start racing. This has reach. Okay. Ooze is nice. We want this to resolve first, yes. Let's get Essence Chandler back. I don't think they have any graveyard synergies. Let's just get rid of that. Okay, no attacks. Drawing a card. Ooh. Okay. Let's do it this way. Keep gaining life. Zoraline to be big enough to... So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so I get 1 more mana, put on Zoraline, and then we can do this. Zoraline gets huge. Auto pay, get back Pursuit. This is so sweet. We're just popping off. All right. Yeah, they could have chumped to live, but they realized they didn't have an out. Oh, that felt so good. Bats, baby, bats. 1049 C19, 98%. Yeah. Gotta mulligan that. Eee. This is not good either. I'm gonna try it though. Swamp down. Keeping the starting town because having the ability to ping yourself is relevant for Essence Channeler. Oh, playing against the Jeskai deck again. Did some streamer like make a video on this recently? Usually when you run into like multiples of these weird decks. Okay, I guess I am taking Ill-Timed Explosion. Cut them off from just drawing 2 cards, make them use their mana to Seam Rip me. Yep. Okay. So I think I'm supposed to... Am I supposed to just play Halia here? I don't think so. I think I'm supposed to bat and take the Ill-Timed Explosion. But now they can just Seam Rip it and then Ill-Timed Explosion anyway, but then they at least spend their Seam Rip. I think I'm okay with that. Seam Rip is very good against me. It, like, exiles both Ooze and Pursuit. Shiko. That's very good. Well, at least they don't have another thing in the yard to... Do I want to play the Rune Lurker bat? Like, they can just Seam Rip the bat and then Ill-Timed, and I guess they don't for sure have something with 3 toughness. I don't know. I think I'm supposed to hold on to the bat. Yeah, they get 3 looks. Oh, they didn't flip. Okay. Ooh. Nice. What is this saying? Play a land from exile or cast a spell from exile. Flying Vigilance Haste. Okay. So it doesn't seem like they're playing the Shepherd package. They're just playing the curve out Shiko deck. Do I care about Restoration Rain? I don't think they play enchantments other than Seam Rip. But Seam Rip is a pretty good one. I mean, I guess they're playing Ill-Timed Explosion too, so maybe I need to bring in Duress. That's a lot of like what's the word I'm looking for? That's a lot of non-creature spells that I would be bringing in. The Ooze does shut off Shiko. Um, one Bartol. It's it's possible that I should bring in Duress. Uh, this is good against ill-timed explosion, so I think I'm gonna bring it in. Cut the other Bartolome, or we'll just cut a Viper. Like Viper is at its best against like the other decks that are trying to be fast because it lets us like catch up on tempo when we're trying to. Okay, I like this hand. Ooze shuts off Shiko. Ooze does just get eaten by a Seam Rip though, so we need to be careful. Well, do I want to sack the clue to try to find a land? We can sack it next turn. Nice. So we get to exile their Winter Night Stories. Let's see. I could play Rotten Mouth here. But I think I just want to... Let's do it this way. Start getting in. Quantum Riddler. Yeah, I think this is when I just... maybe I'm supposed to... Yeah, let's play it safe. They could technically, like, ill-timed me here. I guess they don't have any 6 drops, though, to pitch to ill-timed. So if I play the Viper, I could sack the Ooze and the... I think I like that. Since we have the backup copy of the Ooze, and there's no targets for the Ooze. They're probably pitching here. Pitching something that they can cast with Shiko. I mean, they can't cast Shiko next turn, so... Okay, that's a good one. Okay, so they can cast Get Lost. think I just want to leave the Ooze open, because then I can just exile whatever they target with Shiko. I guess I probably should have So I can force, I mean, yeah, let's get Winter Night Stories out of there. So I need to do this 2 times. Well, let's see what we hit with the map. Deep Cavern Bats. I guess I'm gonna keep Deep Cavern Bats. Do this. And then this. I mean, I just need to get a creature out of range of ill-timed explosion, so I don't think they play any 8s. They might play a Roaring Sauna or Roaring Furnace, but that would only be 7. They almost came back. They got to do their thing with Go Ninja Go, so. Oh, do I want Duress? Hmm. Like it more than Deep Cavern Bats. Like, Deep Cavern Bats is a bit of a liability. Like, letting them get their ill-timed explosion back out from under Deep Cavern Bats was pretty big. I'll try a split here. I might get punished for it. We'll see. Like, it's, you have to strike a balance with these decks where you don't want to have too much like interaction, because you just need to be able to kill them. Okay, we'll try this. Seam Rip, Winter Night Stories, Winter Night Stories. Or Seam Rip, Winter Night Stories. Nice. Okay. So now we get to do this and take their Winter Night stories. Godless Shrine. Okay. Let's see if they want to use their Get Lost on this. They do. Fair enough. Ooh, they have a second Get Lost. Okay. Ooh, yeah, we'll keep that. Force them to save their Get Lost for this. Okay. Or Ptolemy. I don't think I want to draw that. So now they can get lost this and I won't get the mutagen tokens. Oh, they just played it tapped. Interesting. If that were an untapped land, I could play the Ooze, and then in response, I could... If... So since they don't know I have the Ooze, they are probably gonna... Yep. So I get the maps, play the Ooze, and then I get to just do this. And then whatever they target with Shiko, I get to exile with the Ooze. Alright, that was good. That was very nice. Guess I didn't need to pop that off. Might get punished for that. Okay, let's see what they got. Oh, that was a good one. That was a very good one. Well, they're going to 3. Draw 4 from Winter Night Stories. That's pretty sweet. All right. It's a 793. That's getting pretty late. I'm gonna call it here. I know that first match wasn't really a match, but we got 3 dubs with the Bat deck. I think the Ooze gives the deck a lot of staying power. I think I'm gonna go ahead and just make this change. Like, drawing multiple Helias doesn't feel great, and Zoraline just feels fantastic. Just having like a late game way to get back the key pieces that you need, even after they interact with Pursuit and Ooze. Yeah. So Deathmark wasn't good against the 2 Jeskai decks in the mono red deck we played against, but I do think that against the green deck specifically, like if they get a nuts start, you need a way to catch up with a tempo play. Restoration Magic. Could put a Miser's Copy in the main deck. I don't know. But the deck felt sweet. Got to do some powerful things. That's what Pursuit does when you let it do its thing. And then I think like having all the life linkers and the life gain in the deck kind of lets us have a shot at playing against prowess and mono green. I mean, mono green can still just like Might Form Harmonizer us. But we present a pretty solid clock with either of our utility and token poopers or the Viper. So sweet. I'm liking where this deck is at. Like I said, or like I'm going to say when I record the deck tech in a minute here, did not feel super great about the last Orzhov Pursuit deck. It felt like there was potential there, but it was just too fragile. And I think that the Bats package really gave it a little more staying power. So thanks for stopping by. Let me know what you think about the deck, and if you made it this far, please consider subscribing. That's the best way to support the channel. Liking and commenting also boost it in the algorithms. So appreciate you being here. Let me know what you think, and catch you next time. Peace and chicken grease.